Hi, honey. I'm going to show you how to add your pump to loop. All right, so I got to turn it sideways because my phone's pretty big and you're not going to be able to see anything. So I'm going to click loop and I'm going to go down to the pump. You're going to see your pump in there. So you're going to click that. I already did this in a previous video. I had to trash because there was a problem with the video. So what you're going to do is you're going to click delete pump. Now this is the only thing you really need to do with your with loop is just to add your pump. So you're gonna delete the pump, delete it again, and you're gonna go add pump. So now it's gonna search. It's gonna search for your Riley link. See, mine says my pancreas. It'll find your Riley link. Click, toggle the switch over to green for it to be on. Then you're gonna click continue. Okay, make sure your pump is close to your phone. All right, you're going to click continue. Then it's going to ask you for the region and color. So you're going to click on that. And if you look on the back of your pump, you're going to see your model number and your serial number. My model number is 722NAB. B means blue. Okay, so the pump is blue. So it's already there. So it's NAB blue. I'm going to scroll up to the pump ID number. Enter the 6-digit pump number. Now the 6-digit pump number on mine is 488581. You don't use the letters. So you don't use SNPAR and the H at the end. I'm going to use 488581. So I'm going to punch that in. 488581. Then I'm going to go connect. Now this could take a few minutes, but I'm going to put the pump right next to the phone. All right, so that they can communicate. They work on a Bluetooth frequency. So once it communicates, sometimes it takes a few minutes. I think when I did this with the other pumps, it took 4 or 5 minutes. And I don't want to stop the video, so you have to, see another video. But while it's communicating, loop is really, really important. It's really designed to keep your blood sugars. There we go. Continue. So I'll show you that in a minute. So I'm going to click continue. And then it says, loop will keep your pump's clock synchronized with your phone in the time zone you're in now. If you travel to a different time zone, and this is important, like we went to England, don't touch your pump. The iPhone talks to the pump and changes your time zone. So it's really cool. Don't do it in your pump, all right? So anyway, I'm going to click continue, and it says review your pump settings below. So my basal rates are 47.3. You may not have this feature. I just upgraded to the newest version of Loop. So when we see you, I'm gonna do that for you. But so I'm just gonna click continue. Okay, my pump's ready for use. Continue. That's it. That's all there is to it. And if you look, my pump model goes in automatically. My pump ID goes in. Okay. Time zone. It already pulled it. I'm going to change this, the pump battery type, where it says alkaline. Hopefully you can see all this, okay? But it says alkaline. I'm going to change it to lithium because that's what we're using. Then go back to pump settings. And preferred data source is event history. Now, here's a couple cool things. Whenever you have a yellow or a red loop, you go to your pump, click the icon of your pump, click My Pancreas or whatever your name is, and then go to the signal strength or tune radio frequency. So I can tune it. If I click that, it's going to now talk to my Riley link, and it might solve some of the problems that you have. And I'll put the link next to it. Okay. And once it tunes it, it usually solves a lot of problems. And it takes maybe a minute to do. There we go. So now I'm going to click back over on my pancreas. Now some other settings. You've got your tune radio frequency. Don't change your time zone. Okay, you have my century pair. We don't need that. All right, we have fetch recent history. You can always do that. Get pump model. That's a cool feature. I can just click on that and it's going to fetch my pump model for me. It's a 722. These are some new features, I think, in the new version of Loop. And you can get Riley stats and everything. So it's kind of cool. So we'll upgrade you to that. All right. So I am going to, it's connected. I'm going to go back to pump settings. I'm going to go back to settings. And I'm going to click done. I'm going to see if I have a green loop. Okay. Nope, I'm still red. Okay, I don't know if you can see, but I'm still red. So it's going to take a little bit, I'm sure, to communicate with the pump and get this thing going. But some things to make sure that you're doing using the Riley link is whenever you eat, okay, you're going to click on that. You're going to put amount consumed and the absorption time. All right. If you use the little icons, they give you the absorption time, but sometimes there's no icon there. So you might have to do a fast, which is 2 hours, medium is 3, slow is 4. And then you click save. Then what you're going to get, and I'm sure you already know this, is you're going to get the bolus is going to pop up and tell you how much to bolus. You got to keep an eye on that, and you're going to see your little, your insulin line, but you just keep an eye on that, how much you're going to bolus. And because you'll do that once, and then maybe 5-10 minutes later, it adjusts, and you go into your bolus icon, and it might say you need a little more insulin. So then what you do is you give yourself a little more insulin and see where you're going to tail off in a few hours. All right, so eventually I'm going to be at 160. So I need some insulin, but I can't do anything. Oh, there's my green loop. Real simple. See that? That's pretty cool. Trying to find a way that you can see that. Okay, but it is a green loop. All right, so I'm looping. So now I will go into my insulin. It's telling me I don't need any, but I'm going to be eventually 160. I'm at 154 now, so I'm going to be at 160. So I know that I'm going to take, well, I'm not going to take anything because what it's going to do now is talk to the pump, which it already did, and it gave it a temp basal. So my temp basal now is, for 30 minutes, 4.95. I don't know if you can see that. All right, which normally it would only be about 1. So it's going to bring me down to 160. That's the target right now. So I do need a little more insulin, but I'm going to let it adjust. I'm going to let it do its thing. Your heart here is if you want to work out. I set my workout temp at low 140 and high 160. So I shouldn't go above 160 when I'm working out. It'll cut everything off. And pre-meal bolus, I set my pre-meal meal bolus, all right? I'm going to turn it off, but I set my pre-meal bolus at 90. All right, so if I'm a little high, I want to bring that down to 90 and then eat, tell it what I'm eating, take the carbs, okay? So the Riley link is something that you need to keep with you, obviously, all times, but Loop is something you need to look at constantly to make sure you're not going really high or really low with it. With me, I haven't had hardly any lows since I've been on Loop. And of course, yes, I've had some highs in the 200s, but if you just keep an eye on this and watch where your trend line is going to go and you give yourself the insulin that it tells you to,